da-da-da-da, and they were just pirating it. So now they're going to have a way to buy it, and we'll see, is there an opportunity there, right? So, and they'll be able to do it in their own currency. We also have site redesign coming. You'll see better navigation, integration with a new diet service or food planning that involves the container system. You'll be able to track your own personal data. Gamification, meaning you'll start to see rewards and other recognition for when you do a workout. You do a number of workouts in a row as you keep track, as you try to achieve your goals with weight loss and nutrition. All that, we want the system to be able to help you recognize the people who you bring into Beachbody On Demand. And one of the things I'm the most excited about, like probably, there's 3 things I'm super duper excited about today. This is one of the biggest. That I would say it's probably going to take us 3 months to get it going, but we made a decision last week. Remember the Fixate cookbook? Okay, so we were starting to work on another cookbook. We're like, oh, that'll be good, another cookbook. And we started to do the work and started to look at the numbers from the last cookbook, sold a bunch of them, and we were going back and forth on this one recipe, and it was really complicated, and it was the kind of thing I was like, kind of similar to the aha moment about starting Beachbody. That was, you know, people, they can buy a magazine and they can see people doing, you know, everybody's like, the girl. Every magazine, firm butt, this is the move. So you gotta figure what that is from a magazine. Not so good on a printed page. Well, if you're trying to understand how to do some sort of calamari fancy recipe, and how to get flour to stick to it or whatever, you want to see somebody actually cook it. So rather than articulate that into another book, we're going to start with Autumn Calabrese and her brother, who's a chef, and we're going to start to do portion fix cooking demos on Beachbody On Demand. Are you kidding me? This is huge. This is huge. Now here's why. First off, it provides a rationale or a value for Beachbody On Demand that transcends doing the workout every day. We're also going to make it, by the way, I have to talk to the tech team, but we want to make it so that this can be one of the 7 things that you download. So you can take it to the kitchen and you can watch it right there, okay? Or you're going over to grandmother's house and you can bring the recipe for the calamari thing with you. And it's going to give you something like every week or every other week, something to promote to your teams and your prospects to get them into Beachbody On Demand. I'm telling you right now, the revenue opportunity in addition to Shakeology and Beachbody Performance is Beachbody On Demand. As you get people into that membership and as we keep providing new layers of value in there, like the cooking segments, that is going to be a huge part of how you create independence, financial independence, and wealth for yourself if you focus on this. So every week, rather than a new product to launch, because we can't put out new fitness programs every week and be like, oh my God, stop with the fitness programs, we get it. Like there's, you know, it's going to be like, yeah. But now, like we're going to have hundreds, eventually, hopefully, thousands of cooking segments. So anything you want to know how to use these portion containers to make it, it's going to be demonstrated on Beachbody On Demand. This is a big opportunity, and it'll happen in the next 2 or 3 months. So that's exciting. Okay, next slide, Brandon. And okay, now our approach to product development is a very interesting one. Part of our job, we kind of have these 2 sides of product development. And one of them is to make sure that when you guys come here, or when you, because especially the people who do, like, you've gone through T25, you've gone through a few 21-day fix and 21-day fix extreme, you're looking for the next challenging challenge, right? And then, you know, but there's these other niches that we can cater to, and there's more stuff that we need to learn from, and more people, more faces that you'd like to find to present that information. Some of you might have already heard about this, but I'll give you just a teeny tiny, not even satisfying peek into a project that we're launching. It'll actually, you'll be able to see the first hint of it really around Summit. But I want to give you a look at how we're about to pick. Now, you know that we've had, you know, incredible trainers in the 17 years that we've been a company. I think we've had close to 17 different, what we call super trainers. Kathy Smith, of course, Tony and Debbie Siebers were our initial ones. We had the Yoga Booty Ballet Girls, and it has expanded to include the trainers that you're working out with here on this ship. But you might be wondering, how are we going to pick the next one? And we've had a lot of demand for people to get visibility into that process, so now we're going to show you starting this summer. Brandon, would you tee up that clip for me and give everybody a look on how we're going to pick the next super trainer?
Beachbody is a billion-dollar fitness company responsible for creating the most recognizable super trainers in the world. Developing game-changing body transformation programs with hand-picked super trainers has always been a very tenuous task. In fact, in Beachbody's entire history, there have only been a handful to make it into the winner's circle and become world famous, having precisely the right combinations of skills that push them to the top to revolutionize the direction of health and fitness. And now, it's time to find the next one. So for the first time ever, Beachbody is opening the door to a handful of trainers, all in their 20s, and invited them to move into the Beachbody Hot House, where they will compete in head-to-head challenges, while they each develop their own workouts to prove they have that special something to become Beachbody's next super trainer, and with a guaranteed contract with the opportunity to change people's lives and make millions of dollars. It won't be easy. In fact, it will be the challenge of a lifetime, because in the end, there will only be one. Welcome to the 20s, the search for the next Beachbody super trainer.
Okay, it's kind of a dream of mine to make a reality show. So literally, we start with 20-somethings, then we cut that down to 11, and they start to do challenges as we look for literally who is a person who's going to have the heart, the compassion, the creativity to work with our product development team to come up with a program that is going to bring us to another level, is going to attract it. What? The 40-something? Well, that's the next episode. One thing at a time, ladies. And the 30s are going to complain, and the 50s. No, it's just, well, the point though is out of this exercise, we're going to end up with like between 10 and 20-minute workouts that will go up on Beachbody On Demand. And that's how you will help us decide who the next trainer is going to be. Because you'll have insight into what the workouts are. You'll be able to vote on it. We'll see who's using which workout gets the most play. And so we'll have these 20-minute workouts. That'll be a new category inside Beachbody On Demand, but it'll also be fun. The way it's going to work is we'll air the episodes. I think we're going to premiere the first episode actually maybe at Summit, if we can get it done in time. So the first episode will be maybe at Summit, but then every week thereafter till right around Leadership, when we will announce who the winner is, and based on the selection criteria. And we have some really cool talent that we're already starting to see. I think it's going to be a fun project and give you something fun to watch on Beachbody On Demand. A week or two after it airs on Beachbody On Demand, it will also air on the Pop Network. That's used to be called the TV Guide Network, but it's called Pop TV now. So that'll air. I think it's going to either air before or right after, like. Anyway, I don't know what time it's going to air, but it's going to be in like the sort of late prime time, and that'll help us, get the story out about Beachbody. So it's going to be an interesting little project, and it'll help us start with some new product development. But while that might help us create new programming that has the type of intensity and the type of challenge that many of you who are P90X and Insanity and T25 people, you're like, give me something that I can really sink my teeth into as a program. There's also a part of the business which is about reaching new people. And it's always been a challenge for us to find something that is accessible for more people. Like, it's always a challenge that we're looking at, and literally this has been a decade of thinking about and contemplating what can we do to reach more people. and as it has become non-negotiable for us to start our own challenge groups, it can't just be about the most challenging challenge groups. It's got to be, there has to be an aspect to what we do that says, I want to be able to introduce a concept to a friend or a neighbor who I know could never identify with insanity. They could never identify, even with P90 or T25. They need something, you know, like even size. When we created size, we wanted that to be almost like the insanity of dance, right? We wanted it to be like so intense and mentally challenging that you're trying to learn this, that you forget that you're exercising. But the dance moves, take it from a guy who spent a month learning one, are kind of challenging. So we're constantly looking at like what can we do that's going to help us access the other 100 million people, or I think it's, what is it? The obesity rate, I think it's 80 million people are obese in the country, close to 100 million people obese. 30 million maybe morbidly obese. What do we have for them? It's our job to reach everybody. And I'm proud to announce that I think we've got one that's going to help us do that. So, I'll be interested in your reaction. Brandon, would you show them what the very next release will be coming this summer?
Sometimes I get the spark of a new workout idea, and it takes a decade to come together, like this one. Started when I saw folks drawn to a simpler type of fitness, like indoor walking. Simple, easy. We could reach a whole new group of people. Something there. And people want fun. That's the holy grail of fitness. Nobody's disputing that the salsa workouts caught on like a spark in the tall grass because it's fun and easy, and you're still burning up calories. For years, I'm watching these trends, and out of the corner of my eye, city folk are finally figuring that the best music to get your feet moving is country music. And that's when this idea made it to my whiteboard. I called it Fit Country. But the idea still needs to cook. A couple years back, my daughter Ava and I discovered a simple line dance called the Cupid Shuffle. It's fun and easy. It spread through the company like a brush fire. And I realized how the simple repetition could get you sweating without having to bring it or dig deep. Right? It's like walking, but sideways. That's so easy.
Now watch me whip.
I had a reckless herd of themes looking for the right person to pull them all together. Then I saw a video of an event in Calgary where coaches invited trainer Autumn Calabrese on stage. Turns out she's a big fan of country music and a dancer. Well, I'll be. And that's when all them twinkling ideas came together. 10 years of tending the flame of a new concept so folks could have fun and burn a whole mess of calories. Why, we could even include the simplest way to manage portions so you can enjoy your favorite vittles and still lose the weight. And while this is as far as I can ride, it's not the end of the story. This is just the spark of what's becoming a wildfire. With Autumn and her team in charge, a pretty cool idea called Fit Country just got hotter. This is fun, easy fitness. Saddle up, partners, for country heat.
Country Heat is a country music dance program for everybody. If you like music and you like to move your body, you will love Country Heat. It doesn't matter if you can dance. It's not about tricky moves or having to get the steps just right. All you need to do is follow along with us and have fun. This is Country Heat.
I can't be bothered to miss you anymore.
Country Heat is for anyone that likes music and to move. A lot of the songs are popular mainstream country songs that you've heard before, so you can sing along while you're dancing.
I should have said you're right.
I wanted the top hits, I wanted the best country artists, I wanted the music that people were gonna love, and it's so fun that you're going to want to get up and do it.
Down home girls in them sexy skinny jeans.
I love the dance moves. I love shaking my hips. I love the body rolls. You don't even need to know how to dance, which is awesome.
Moves are simple, they're easy, they're fun.
Next thing you know, you're covered in sweat. You've burnt the calories for the day.
And speaking of burning calories, Country Heat comes with my portion control container system to make it simple to lose the weight while still eating the food you love. And if you think the containers are simple, so are the dance moves. Giddy up, right slap, left slap on the balls of your feet when you ride it back. Just get up and dance with me, and I promise you, Country Heat will change your body.
You can feel the change in the change while you're moving your feet. You can feel the change in the Country Heat.
If you love great music, dancing, and having fun, turn it up to burn it off with Country Heat.
Ladies and gentlemen, the trainer behind the release at Summit 2016,
Penguin tail for you.
Penguin tail, get to know that. That's going to be a
Learn it, love it.
All right, well, congratulations. I know that this has been a long time coming. I think we did it, by the way. I think we actually kept a secret.
We did.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
We kind of kept a secret.
Amazing.
All right, now you can tell everybody. So, I want to tell you a little bit of the backstory of this program because Autumn has so much to be proud of because as you saw in the little premiere of the idea, this, like, it was a line dance, and then it wasn't a line dance, and then it got hard, and then it got easy. Like, we went through almost 6 months, and it was actually 9 months of turmoil, but it started to come together in Nashville, actually. We got some real good insight. You guys went to a country line dance there. Now, I mean, how much fun is this going to be to release in Nashville? Seriously. All right. Tell us a little bit about the program. Describe what you put together.
Okay, well, really quick, let me get back up to the story for a second about how long it took us and everything, because you guys have probably seen posts on social media of me being like, oh my God, I'm working on something, it's killing me. This is what should have been really easy. Dance for me should be really easy. This is what I grew up doing. It's what I went to college doing. I majored in dance. And when I got to college, it was the first time I ever had a teacher tell me I can't. And in 3 years, that ballet master crushed my confidence so bad that I left school a year early and I didn't step foot in a dance class for 5 years. Took a while, slowly built my confidence back, but never quite the same as I had it before I went to school. So here we are a year ago, and Carl's like, I've got this great idea, it's a dance program, it's country. And at first I'm like, yes. And in a split second after thinking yes, every bit of fear and anxiety that you could ever imagine took over my body. And I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna do this? I can't. And that's the only word that kept going through my head is, I can't do this. I don't know how many times in 9 months I went to Carl and was like, it's cool if you want to take it from me, maybe it's not mine, like maybe you give it to somebody else. And every time he had the same response. He's like, if you need more time, you can have more time, but Country Heat is yours. So thank you for that, because that is so important, guys. That having that one person believe in you when you don't believe in yourself, it changes everything. Because with every time he was like, it's yours, go figure it out. I went back and I was like, all right guys, we gotta try this again. Like, it's not where he wants it, but we're gonna try it again. And that is what I want Country Heat to be when you guys take it out to everybody else. So for the people who are intimidated by Insanity or 21 Day Fix or Power 90, who don't believe in themselves and say, I can't. I want you guys to be able to be like, you can, because it's like walking but sideways. It really is that easy, and it really is that much fun. The workouts are like 26 to 30 minutes. The music is amazing. The steps are really easy, and even if you don't get them on the very first try, there's move breakdowns before you ever do the workout so that you can learn the moves without the music so that you know what it is before you get into the routine. So I'm excited about it. It's fun, and I think it's awesome that we have something that is going to reach so many more
And that's the point. So we looked at, I mean, the backstory is true. So one of the reasons Zumba is such a big deal is it's something that people feel is super accessible for them. But we wanted to do it with frankly, what right now is the #1 music format in the country and in Canada, and that's country music. So we think this will be really popular, really fun, and in fact it's going to be a lot of fun for families to get involved in because the moves aren't complicated. So the kids are going to be able to go along, have a good time. Now let's talk a little bit about what's happening with the test group that we have going on in the office.
We have amazing results. They just finished their first 30 days, so it is a 30-day program. It's 5 dance workouts and a dance conditioning workout. So that dance conditioning is a lot of like, for those who have taken a dance class, it's very flowy in terms of you never stop moving, but it's squats, it's lunges, you get down on the ground, you've got some push-ups in there and some tricep dips and things like that. So it's a 6-day-a-week program, but we just finished the first 30 days. On average, 12 pounds. The biggest was 23. Don't quote me on that, but I think the highest weight loss was 23 for a guy, 18.5 for a girl. So I'm pretty proud of that because 21-day fix, we promised 15 pounds in 21 days, and you're lifting, and I'm crushing you, and you're doing burpees, and here you are dancing, like having the best time, and the weight is just falling off of people. So
as you can imagine, the hype between now and July 28th, which is the first day of Summit when this will release. There will be a lot of fun stuff that we'll get to promote. I mean, we don't need to go on and on about it. We'll be releasing information as it comes. But we also have a test group going on in Dallas of people, so we have a broader group of people, and we'll start to give you more information. But I do want to say that as you share this with your teams, the point of all this is that now we're going to be able to, like, sometimes I'll talk to people and, you know, they'll say, oh, Beachbody, I know that extreme fitness company, which always shocks me because we started with great abs guaranteed and thin thighs guaranteed, which are 7 minutes long. So, like, I never positioned in my mind as that extreme fitness company, but P90X is how we really got on the radar. So now we're going to have something that everybody can do, and with the portion control, with the containers in the system, I think it's going to be something that will really access a lot of people and give people a new gateway into a lifestyle of movement and activity that will finally be gratifying for them. So, good job on them.
thank you.
Thanks for putting this. Yes, you're staying.
Okay.
So, all right, so now we're going to move on and to finish things out, we're going to bring the rest of the trainers who are available out, and we're going to talk a little bit about helping people get results for the summer. So let's bring out the rest of the trainers who are backstage hiding. Thank you, gang. Welcome. Why didn't I see anybody do penguin tail? What's up with that?
They haven't caught on yet.
You haven't?
You haven't done it around the office enough yet.
All right, once I'm going to start doing the penguin tail around the office, and then you're going to do it. Okay, so here are our ambassador super trainers. You guys, thank you for waking me up at whatever 5:30 this morning or some crazy.
Let's do that really loud tomorrow.
Look, you know, you guys, obviously we had a great dinner last night. Have you had enough salt for the week? Yeah. Honestly, I can barely get my shoes to fit. So much salt. But we had a nice dinner, and I was telling them last night just how grateful I am. Like, you know, we didn't. You know, obviously Tony and Debbie were the first 2 trainers that we worked with on the beach, and we didn't have permits, and we sort of snuck out on the beach, shot these workouts. It was foggy, it was freezing, but we got it done. We shot like 5 workouts in a matter of 2 hours, and then escaped before we got arrested. Legit start of a $1 billion company. But we were lucky. we were lucky to work with friends. You know, Tony was a friend, and Debbie was a friend, and we just, things came together, and then, you know, Power 90 was an idea, and I was like, oh, that seems kind of, Tony, that's not kind of in your wheelhouse, like, and it was kind of what we did when we were working out together, and Debbie, then, you know, Slim and Six was an idea, and I was like, yeah, Debbie, that could be good, and we've sort of had this, like I said last night, this sort of divinity, this kind of divine little, these relationships that have started where the right person entered our world at the right time for a concept. I mean, Sagi, I have had that whiteboard, well, it's a joke. At some point, you'll see the video and just look at some of the things on the whiteboard, kind of funny. But I do have this whiteboard where we keep all the ideas, all the working ideas. And there had been something that was sort of Charles Atlas-esque. And then Heather Church found Sagi for us, and it just was like so perfect from like day one, perfect. And we had, truly, the program is perfect, the program. And then we literally, as I said, we've been thinking about how to make things accessible and stuff, and had been looking at a shorter program, maybe 30 days, maybe 21 days, maybe with a portion control program, and then we found Autumn, who had her own portion control system online. So like this divinity happened, right? And then, of course, we'd worked with, through the Les Mills relationship, we'd worked with Joel and Jericho, and they did a great job in Les Mills Pump and Combat, and we obviously are developing stuff with them. Like we have these incredible, and I think it was Jericho, you said it last night, it's kind of like this family of relationships. And of course, Sean and Shalene have done just amazing work for us, and they continue to do great stuff, and like we're so lucky. But then I look at you guys, all with trainer backgrounds, and what we can all learn from you is how do you set up people, not just when you go about how you approach creating a program. I'm going to start with Joel and we'll work our way up, okay? How can we learn from you? Particularly because you have run Gold's Gyms and you're a real businessman around the art of fitness and acquiring new customers and so on. It's one thing to acquire customers. It's a whole other thing to set them up for success. And that's what I want this panel to be about. How can we help our customers and coaches succeed at the programs that they start? How do you do that as a professional?
Yeah, hi guys. So that was, we did discuss it a little bit last night, and coming from the gym world, the fitness world, it was always about selling memberships, and that's a traditional thing of selling as many memberships as possible. And then the challenge has always been to, how do you retain the members? How do you keep people going? And a lot of people have asked me about my transition to Beachbody, and one of the things that I've said and I've posted about is the fact that the gym world is so small, less than 20% of the population belong to a gym. You know, that leaves the rest, the 80% of the population out, but it doesn't mean that we don't still have the same retention problems that the gym world does. So it's the same thing of trying to sign somebody up, and I see posts about all the time of, hey, I'm trying to sign people up as a coach, and people are quitting and they're not working out or something like that. So the retention problems are still there, right? You guys are still having that. And so for me, it's always been realism, is really trying to find something in that person's real life that they can connect to, that make them want to work out, make them want to be healthier, want to be fitter, want to change their life for the better. And so when people ask me, you know, how do I want to be seen? How do I portray myself in this world? It's realism. I mean, you know, we didn't necessarily have a salad last night. We did, but I think there was some salt, like a salt cake on top of it. And it was delicious. And then, yeah, and then 5 more salt cakes later, then there was dessert. So, and then we jumped up, but you know what? But then we jumped up on stage and we saw all you guys down there working your asses off, right? You guys were working out the next morning. So that's real. That's real life. And that's, for me, is really about trying to find the realism in what we're doing. Not saying, hey, stop eating that. Don't do this. We all know what we should and shouldn't eat, right? We know this salt cake is probably bad for you, but it tastes good, so we're gonna eat those onion rings. So it's finding that marginal area of realism. That's what I say.
All right. How about you, Jericho? I mean, you've been Group X training for so long, and you see people come and go. and I'm sure you've taught classes and seen people just stagnant. They come to the workout, they do their thing, and they don't progress. How do you help set them up for success so that they do move along?
I think the hardest part is just getting yourself there, and people just need a little bit of a push. You know, so many people need help, and I think a lot of people feel alone. So I love, one of my biggest things is just connecting with people. So, you know, walking up to them, talking to them. For you guys, it's reaching out to them through social media and how you do, and just hook them. You have to hook them in emotionally and hang on to them. And yeah, it's just building a relationship, as you know. So many people need your help, and they're intimidated, they're afraid of failing, and it really doesn't take a whole lot, in my experience, to just really make them feel welcome and make them feel important and special.
You hear how valuable that is. I mean, Joel, you wouldn't really expect, if you were to sort of write the script, what are they going to say about how to empower people for success or help set people up for success? You wouldn't expect the first thing you hear is be realistic with them so that they can still coexist with a lifestyle that does have some gratification. You wouldn't expect that to be the first thing you hear. And then you wouldn't expect to hear that connecting with people, connecting with their heart, connecting with their goals be the next one. You would sort of think, I'm going to inspire them, I'm going to lead them. But you've got a very human experience from people who are the best at it in the business. And I think that's really important to make note of. Okay, make it funny. All right, so it's really important to make note of, though, because this is such an important part of what you do. Now, Sagi, when we had a meeting in my office, and we were talking about nutrition, and we were talking about how big a following that you have in both the bodybuilding world and on bodybuilding.com and through our database. And you were talking about supplementation and making the right kind of recommendations so that people would have an appropriate supplement but not lean on it like a crutch. Can you get back to that? Like, because you were talking about because you had a whole practice where you would help people with their nutrition and guiding them through supplementation.
Right. How you doing, guys? So I'm sharing with you guys what Carl and I were talking actually for a long time, and he was asking me questions about my practice and what I do with patients that walk to the door, or other people that always ask me nutritional questions as a clinical nutritionist, not just as a bodybuilder that can flex his biceps. Exactly. So the first thing that I want you to understand is the way you think, the way you talk, that's the first thing that's going to influence your body. The number one medicine that you have to come out from depression is exercise. There's no other medication that will fix that. It's true. Exercise will fix it. The other thing is that we are not trying to fix or save anyone. We are just sharing our knowledge. We are sharing our experiences. As my experience, when I would have someone coming to the practice, the first thing that I would do, I would see how they walk. I would see how they talk. I would see how they're shoulder leaning. And